bunch today.
We did. Hey, we have Sonia Edwards from Bryant Insurance. Sonia, I haven't seen you. You were here last week, but I was out.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time.
It has been a while. Have you been?
I've been good.
Good, good. You look great.
Thanks. Lots of traveling.
That's what Rick says.
It's all right. Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
So you got out just in the nick of time last week from Kansas.
I did. It was icy, but not bad, and the sun was still shining. So we did get out before you couldn't travel the roads very well.
Did you get to see any snow while you were up?
A little bit. And I got to see my brother and his family. And when I got to their house, their youngest son ran outside barefooted in the snow to see me. So I knew it made me feel really special.
And Sonia.
That's exactly what he did.
Anyway.
Oh, it was sweet. And Jeff says he doesn't do that for anybody else. He usually doesn't care if anybody comes over. So it was pretty cool.
Very good. What do you have for us this week?
Well, I want to talk about cyber liability. I know we talked about it a few months ago, but you just hear these nightmare stories every day now of stuff that happens, and we have the best product I've ever seen. There's lots and lots of cyber liability policies for businesses, and the product that the company that we're working with has, as far as anything I've ever looked into, they've got the broadest coverage, and so I thought we'd talk about that today, because if you are a business, 99% of the time you have some type of exposure.
Right.
If you have a computer or smartphone or tablet that connects to the outside world, or even if you just have a telephone that you can answer, you know, there's lots of issues. And what used to be the worst claims, the most expensive claims, was the data breach, where, you know, somebody would steal your customer, go in and take your customer's information, and then you would, not only did you have to notify all those people, but then you might be liable for their losses. And statistics show that, I forgot the percentage, I think it's 60% of small businesses, if they have a data breach, will be out of business within a year, because it's just overwhelming. And so that's what we saw at first when the company started this coverage, is they would help you with that. Now, along with that, there's the two biggest claims right now are wire transfer fraud and social engineering. Wire transfer fraud is pretty obvious what that is, where, you know, somebody that you do business with all the time, you trust, they make the email look like it came from them, and they say, you know, we've finished this transaction, here's where you need to wire the money, except it wasn't them. So that's a huge claim right now. The other one is social engineering, which is a lot of different things, but it's basically, you get an email that looks like it comes from whoever. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example of social engineering. My friends at work added this game that they were playing, like on our phones, like at night. They were like, oh, play this game, it's really fun. And you answer questions about each other, and that sounds really fun and good. Until one of the questions was, what do you think Sonia uses for her password? Now, I don't tell anybody my password. Both of my friends, when I saw that question, I was like, I'm not telling you, you know, but they both guessed pretty close to what my password was. So now, whoever has this cute, fun, free game, you know what I mean? So it's things like that we're just, you don't think about people being dishonest, and they can do everything from, you know, get you to send money, to get into your accounts, to hack into your system, or even the worst thing that I could think of is that they hold your data for hostage. And the company that we were writing these with, if one of the customers has their data held hostage, they want you to call them first. They deal with the people that hold it hostage, but they also know that you're probably not going to get your data back even if you pay the ransom. And so they also pay to have your data recreated. So I mean, there's just all kinds of crazy things out there that happen. And this is for businesses, not for individuals, but for businesses. And it's really not as expensive as you think it would be, and we don't really need a lot of information to get you a quote. So, you know, I would recommend anybody that has a business, just get a quote and find out, because there's ugly stuff out there. And
what about businesses that have like open networks that, you know, they'll offer Wi-Fi, like let's say a restaurant. When you walk in, people say, can I have your Wi-Fi passcode? What about places like that? Can they get in?
They can, and you know, I'm not, of course, the good thing about this company is that they will give them advice beforehand. What do I always say every week? Don't wait till after you have a claim to know what your insurance covers. You know, I told somebody at work we should make that our, you know, catchphrase, like all the big insurance companies have their cute catchphrases, but anyway, like even a caveman can do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But they will actually review.
I'm not familiar with that one.
There you go, right?
But even if they will review with you what you have, what your security is, and give you advice, you don't have to take their advice, but you know. And a lot of times when you go on those free, you have to click a thing that says you understand that it's not secure. If you go on anybody's free Wi-Fi, you're crazy if you're doing anything secure. You know,
Yeah,
well, I'm just
but yeah,
thinking,
they could. You're right, they could.
I'm just thinking as a customer, if I walk in a place and mine gets breached, what's my first inclination?
Right.
But I'm going back to that restaurant and
Right.
nail those guys.
I mean, that's the thing is that, are they responsible? I can't really tell you, but would they have defense coverage if they have this policy? Yes. Would they have advice beforehand? Yes. Another cool thing that this company does, and all of the risk management stuff is optional. You don't have to do this, but one of my favorites that they offer to do is send fake phishing emails to all your employees and see who clicks on it. You know,
Oh,
just
yes.
to see who might be vulnerable, who might, you know, it's not like to fire them or anything, but just to see who might actually click on the wrong thing, you know. So with all the security that we have on our emails, we still get crazy things, you know,
Right.
all the time, and our security is updated all the time, you know. But so it's a good thing. Another thing about this company is they don't have any risk management warranty. So in other words, say that was that restaurant, and they gave them advice and said you really shouldn't have this, or you should have disclaimer, and they should probably take that advice. But if they don't, they're not going to not have coverage just because they didn't do a risk management thing. So anyway, that's the thing today, and I could talk about it, you know, example after example after example. The most recent one I've seen is a trucking company in California that somebody hacked in. They were a big company. They were shut down for 10 days
Oh my goodness.
because of ransom. And
we don't negotiate with terrorists.
right, and the company that we write these with was actually their insurer, and they paid the time that they were down, the loss of business. Then they dealt with the ransom person or whatever, but they also helped restore their data. So I mean, it's a pretty valuable tool in this day and age. I just don't understand why these people don't just get real jobs. They're obviously very smart.
Right, right.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So
Yeah.
so yeah, just give us a call. We can look at it even if we don't currently write your business. We can look at it standalone. Just call us at the office 940-549-2525 and ask for commercial lines. Come see us second floor Sierra Bank or visit us at www.bryanins.com.
Thank you, Sonia. We'll see you next week.